Well, all right, everybody. Welcome back to the No Quarter Podcast.
Idaho's #1 podcast.
Episode number 30.
We made it to 30.
We did make it
We
to
are
30.
absent of Rob today, though,
Yeah.
but that's all right. We'll
It's
try to make it
unfortunate.
as good as possible without him.
We're going to miss him. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
He's not dying. nothing,
Thoughts and prayers.
Nothing crazy is going on so far as that we know. So,
Lord of mercy. Man, we're just chatting about AI.
yeah, we were trying to, if you guys haven't been able to tell, we don't do a ton of programming. And by that, I mean, we don't do any programming as to what we are going to talk about prior to these episodes.
Loosely put together, the
Mhm.
show is.
Yeah, typically we sit down and what do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah.
And we got into a small discussion about AI. And I read Jeromy a little IG post that does cite a study.
Yes,
It might be a weak study. Okay, it's a weak study.
it is.
But it does cite a study that was conducted basically saying that chronic use of AI slows people's brains down. Meaning it reduces the human's ability to critically think, reason, deduce original thought, all that kind of stuff.
And it makes people lazy.
And it makes you lazy.
That was like one of the key things.
Now, the study, Jeromy read through it. It
Yeah.
basically says that.
Yeah.
It was a study of like 300 or 400 kids in Pakistan.
Primary data was collected from 285 students from different universities in Pakistan and China.
Okay, so a weak study.
Yeah, not enough people to definitively say. And also students, like we're talking about like
Potheads.
in Pakistan. Do you want to get high? Oh, you probably should cut that.
I think that's Indian.
Oh, it is.
That's the wrong accent, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's
I grew up in San Jose.
Yeah.
I can say that. It's fine.
I don't know if that really excuses
Does it not?
blatant racism.
Oh,
but,
okay. Well,
that wasn't
you know.
racist. That was just, it was just,
I was doing the accent.
what's it called? Insulting mimicry.
But it's not insulting.
Is it endearing?
Yeah.
Anyways, so look, I think this is my stance. Totally anecdotally, that statement that chronic use of AI makes people lazy, slower, foggier, less creative, less original, that makes complete sense to me.
Yeah. What am I trying to say here? I can't really put any words to it.
How much do you use ChatGPT?
Fucking ChatGPT answers every email for me. If it sounds too good to be true, it is.
I really like it for editing.
Yeah.
So I will draft an entire email and I put it in, I make my language, I make it sound like me, and then I will just plug it in there and say, edit this for context and for syntax. And all my grammar and everything gets corrected. And that way I don't have weird run-on sentences and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really taking anything away from myself. I'm decent at composing.
Yeah.
But I'm not fantastic at following grammatical rules. And so
It's because they're irrelevant.
they're not irrelevant at all. It can make you sound, we read grammar very naturally. We don't even recognize that we're picking up on pauses, inflections,
Yeah.
all of those
Period.
things, but it's because of grammar.
Yeah.
But not everybody knows how to compose grammatically accurate.
I remember once I did some papers in, I think it was probably like middle school.
Mhm.
And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just putting periods and commas everywhere. And the teacher redlined that shit. And it was like, comma.
I am Jeromy, period.
Yeah, I was like, comma? Question mark? And she's like, why? Comma doesn't belong here. I'm like, yes, comma, and comma. Well, comma. Just like throwing it in. I'm like, see, bitch, I use grammar, punctuation. I'm at it, dude.
But I'm not fantastic at composing with proper grammar.
Yeah. But then does that pose the risk in some future that, like, again, like going back to the study, like you said, kind of, right? Like now instead of learning how to properly utilize grammar and punctuation, you're just going to have AI do it. And now you're going to not ever know how.
I don't not value it. And I think I'm being relatively realistic with myself. I write when I compose, like, let's say I'm composing a professional email. I compose it to the best degree that I possibly can.
Yeah. And then you run it through the filter.
And then I just run it through a filter. It's like using autocorrect or spell check.
Yeah.
I use it in that kind of capacity. I'm not asking it to give me original thoughts. I'm just asking it to filter. Now, I have used it for the podcast because there's so many. Well, one, it can access live internet, which means it can analyze the different algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can optimize our content in descriptions and titles for optimal SEO in the algorithm. And so I do use it for that because, look, the original part of this podcast is us sitting down and recording.
Right.
If I can streamline creating titles, descriptions, prompts for image generation, I'm not shortchanging myself. I'm just trying to save some time.
You're never going to learn how to draw if you keep doing that.
I don't want to learn how to draw. I'm not looking to be a tattoo artist.
Well, there's a lot of really sketchy tattoo artists out there.
Yeah.
You'd probably at least be like a sanitary, shitty tattoo artist.
I'd be sanitary. You wouldn't want to be tattooed.
Like you'd have a professional workspace and just really bad tattoos.
Yeah, you'd get like non-spherical smiley faces.
Just like half like Forrest Whitaker face.
Yeah,
just
like
dripping off.
everything would be all drippy.
That's funny.
But do you not think that it slows down chronic users? That was kind of what you were starting to defend.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can sway both ways. So in this, it says, the findings show that 68.9% of laziness in humans, 68.6% of personal privacy and security issues, and 27.7% in the loss of decision makings are due to the impact of artificial intelligence. So that's saying that it's over half of what's causing us to be lazy is essentially AI. But I'm interested to see what
I think I think you could aggregate that to technology.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see because are they talking about AI or are they talking about I have an Apple Watch so I don't have to read?
Well, because it talks about if you have the posted. I don't know if this came out of the study.
Yeah, this doesn't say anything about it.
But it basically says if you have technology that you depend on every single day, you are shortchanging yourself, and you are slowly. It compared the rate at which it is making you lazier and less creative to the boiling frog. You put a boiling frog in hot water, it's going to jump out. Or you put a frog in boiling water, it's going to jump out. You put a frog in cold water and you start to boil it slowly, and it's just going to slowly acclimate to the increasing temperature, and then you'll boil the frog and kill it.
I think it'll jump out when it gets too hot.
It's a metaphor.
Well,
this isn't literal. I probably would agree with you.
Any listeners out there have any frogs
that you've boiled?
Will you let us know in the comments below? No, don't go boiling frogs. I don't want fucking PETA barking up our asses early in our podcast career.
For PETA to bark up our ass. That is a very strange phrase. Barking up your ass.
Just fucking.
Well, I mean, PETA probably has a bunch of people that think they're dogs anyways. They probably drag each other around on leashes and
yeah, fuck, that's funny. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that AI can sway both ways. I mean, I think you and I both have two varying uses for AI too.
Sure.
Right. So your AI is here's this email I wrote, check it for the important stuff. I'll write something hey, thanks for emailing us. Yeah, we got a bunch of classes and here they are. Let us know if you want to sign up.
Make this sound professional.
And then I put it in AI and I go, improve. So I think that my AI might be dumber than the average AI,
Your AI or your input?
Both. It's garbage in, garbage out. I think that my lack of effort in writing emails and other stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I just did it's been 3 days and I've been working on a growth strategy for the show.
Yeah.
But I put in an obscene amount of very organized information.
Yeah.
And it produced a pretty high quality result. After analyzing our channels and all that kind of.
Oh, there's a button here that takes me to the full study.
Oh, is that just a summary that you were reading?
Oh, no, never mind. This is smaller. I don't know what this means.
I don't know. To me, all I'm getting at is it stands to reason that the more we outsource mental work, creative work, I think we are naturally inherently going to get lazier. We've seen that with technology.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, dude. Like, I don't look at the sun to wake me up. I let an alarm clock do it to get me here at 8:30 for a podcast in the morning.
Yeah.
Early. Really early.
That's not that early, dude.
No, man, I've been going to the gym in the mornings.
Did you go this morning?
No, 8:30. I couldn't swing it because I have to get Declan to school beforehand.
Oh yeah. What time do you drop them off?
I like to drop him off at 9 ish,
okay.
you know, but I had to take him early.
Yeah, class starts at 8:20 for our kids.
Man, it's super funny. Like, speaking of that, like, not to change subjects because I still have AI thoughts.
Do you think an AI prompt?
Analyzing. My oldest was like, man, like, I hate waking up so early for school. And all I could just think, and I didn't break him, like, I didn't burst the bubble, but in my head, I'm just like, wait till high school and class starts at 7.
Yeah, dude.
Like, yes, we're 100% conditioning you to be a good little boy and go get a job.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
Well, also, I think I like early rise.
Yeah. We're supposed to wake up. We are photosensitive humans.
Yeah.
So when the sun is awake, we should be awake.
I agree.
When the sun goes down, we go to sleep. Like, that's what our bodies naturally want to do.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's awesome. But like, also, who the fuck sleeps with their blinds open?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
In your bedroom?
Uh-huh.
So you go like, oh, it's time for bed. You go open your blinds and go to sleep.
I just don't close them. I obscure them enough so if some weirdo wants to like peer into my room, that they can't just directly see me cuddling my pillows.
Just sleeping.
But yeah, no, I leave it open enough to where the moonlight peers in, and
It's very romantic of you.
It's not. I just like it. I don't know.
So
I don't mind sleeping in pitch black. It's just not something that I need.
Yeah, I want, like, every curtain in the house, like my bedroom, actually every room except for the front 2 rooms are all blackout.
Yeah.
I want zero light.
When I was working knock shifts, I used blackout curtains. Well, I had to.
Yeah, you have to sleep during the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like darkness. But you know what's really weird about our place is my wife really wanted a single story home. And I didn't because I want the funnel. Mm-hmm. That's all I've ever wanted in my life. Yeah. Is for me to have a stronghold upstairs with all of our rooms. So if someone kicks in the door, I could be like, take whatever you want, get out and come up these stairs, I'll shoot you. Yeah. You know? And so we got a single story home, but either neighbor on either side of us and the 3 houses behind us are all 2-story houses. Mm-hmm. So we like literally are like, have you seen the movie Up? Yeah. Where it's like all these big buildings and a tiny little house. Yeah. That's like our house. And we have like a nice house. It's big and everything, but it's just like single story. And
ours is single story as well.
I prefer to, but
it's not small. It's like 2,400 square.
Yeah, they're big houses. It's just like not stacked on top of itself. Mm-hmm. As I'm describing single story houses to our listeners, like, you know, it's like a 2-story house, but just one story
but only one story.
Yeah, there's only one of them. But we have our windows are 3 feet, I think, wide, 3 or 4 feet wide by 8 feet tall. And we have 4 of them, 3 of them in our bedroom, 4 in the living room.
We might have the same builder. I've got like the same exact layout.
So just huge windows. But then above so like if this wall is facing east, our wall that's facing north is just a solid wall with 2 like small, like, I think they're 24 by 24 windows just in the wall. They don't
open. It's just
they don't open. Yeah, it's just to allow light in. But I'll tell you what, man, from the edge of that bed, if I'm standing with my knees touching my bed, looking at the wall, and I look up diagonally, I can just see my neighbor's bedroom just like direct eye shot. Like we could lock eyes in the moment.
That's what my wife hates about ours as well, because one, our property sits a little high. Yeah. So our foundation is higher than every neighbor we have, and especially all of our back neighbors. Yeah. And they're all 2 stories. Well, the one that we have the best view of is 2 stories. Yeah. And dude, we can see their first floor. We can see their second floor. When they're in the kitchen cooking, when they're in their bedroom, they blurred out those windows, but there's nothing obscured.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's hilarious.
Hate.
It doesn't bother me. Like there are times where like we're getting down at the edge of the bed And I look over and I'm just like, if he wants to watch, I guess. You know, like if this is the highlight of your day, buddy.
That's like
enjoy.
That's like Friends. Did you ever watch Friends?
Oh, Naked Guy, the naked neighbor, whatever. Yeah, it's super funny. My wife's not weird about it. She's just like, yeah, if they want to look, fuck them, let them look. Like, I'm in my house, like I'm not going to close blinds to change.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just like, oh, we must close everything.
Give them the old windmill right out to get it.
Oh, helicopter. But yeah, so that's a trip. Tangent, I guess. But back to AI. So. So circadian rhythms and all that because I said alarm clock wakes me up.
That's true. Yeah.
Really sad.
Yeah.
We probably need AI to keep us on track, honestly. But no, I've been using like a form of AI, I think, since before like AI was like the big fucking thing. Like
Google.
Well, I mean, but like even for like writing and stuff, like even when I was working in like corporate electrical world and I was working in an office and my daily life was emails and shit. I downloaded Grammarly Pro and paid for it every month.
Oh yeah, I used Grammarly
because it's like,
but Grammarly is just advanced spell check. It's not AI.
Well, it'll also rephrase things. It'll say, "Hey, this is a better version,"
but it doesn't generate thought.
You're right. It doesn't generate thought, but
so you are never going to say, respond to this email saying we have too many clients. We'll schedule you next week.
It did have, if you go to the interface, so you could click it on your browser and click like improve this, make it sound more professional. You had those options.
Yeah.
So it was the early stages.
But you had to feed it what it was improving.
Yeah. I can't just be like,
come up with an email.
Yeah. Write me an email about,
our books are full for this week and, we'll open up scheduling for next week. Something like that. It didn't work that way. It was just advanced spell check. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's good and bad. I think that the power of it is amazing for small businesses and professionals and all that stuff. But like when it comes to kids using it, like I really don't like the idea of like, if my son's like, hey, I'm just going to write this report and have AI write it. And I know there's now apps and stuff that the teachers have to use that like check for AI to make sure it's not AI and stuff. But you could easily just prompt your AI to fool that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's not rocket science to just be like, hey, write me a report that can absolutely fly under the radar and not get caught by these apps that check for AI. And you can condition it. So I think that, I think there's going to be some level of, dumbed down shit, but will it cause idiocracy? I guess is like my thought.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we're really fucking close. Besides like, the plants like Gatorade.
The same way, like, look, social media is a tool.
Yeah.
And it can be an entertainment.
Yep.
And it can also be somebody's entire existence. And more people, their entire existence is on social media.
Oh yeah. There are kids that are, I'm not getting enough likes and they blow their head off. Like there are kids that are, it's unbelievable.
That's crazy. So yes, absolutely. It's going to cause idiocracy.
Yeah. You go to the doctor and it's just a machine.
Yeah.
Like, you're all right.
Honestly, truthfully, I really don't think we are that far away because one, if you go to a GP, especially through a big provider, right? You go to Kaiser Permanente, you go to, maybe I shouldn't say names because, business and stuff. You go to, not Kaiser because they're obviously the highest quality providers in the world. You go to a large insurance provider group, their GPs, it's all automated. It may be a person saying it, but they are basically feeding back scripts.
Yeah, they're inputting information and getting data back.
And feeding you a prescription. There is zero reason that a machine can't do that.
Yeah.
It's not, that's not healthcare. They're not being physicians. Now,
I agree.
I don't know. And I didn't even think the places where the argument is going to be made that we need that human touch, we need discernment, we need wisdom, that kind of thing, like in the operating room. I think a lot of that is going to start to get outsourced as well.
Yeah, I do. If AI can be perfect, I'm cool with it to some degree. But like,
do I think an AI or some sort of robotic controlled or AI controlled robot is going to have a better
success rate?
Yeah, accuracy, higher success rate of reconnecting nerves when my leg gets severed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would prefer for my leg to work better, not worse.
Yeah, but what if it gets confused? That's the thing. Because if it's capable of thinking and problem solving, what if it just gets confused and it's just like, this is probably good enough. This nerf must be this. Because AI gets shit wrong.
For sure. I mean, I think in that scenario, you're going to have something that is processing like constant imaging. It's probably looking at the physiology and as an entire unit. It's
there's probably a human looking at it.
It's probably able to stimulate this nerve and see what it's doing so it can figure out what nerve is going on. You know,
it'll have the troubleshooting process.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again, it's all just an algorithm. And the more complex the algorithm gets, that quantum computing function is just going to produce a more accurate result. I don't know, man. I think a lot of stuff is going to get outsourced by robotics and AI in very short order. I do. I don't know. Just my take on it.
Yeah, now I'm curious. I'm going to ask ChatGPT something because I'm curious.
What are you going to ask it? Because I use it too. I'm not trying to demonize the fact that it exists. I do use it. It's just I'm pretty careful to use it in a specific way. I don't want it to generate thought for me. I want it to augment what I am already doing and maybe help clean it up.
Are we in the Matrix?
What'd it say?
It says, "Are you enjoying this app? Please let me know." It says that's the real question, isn't it?
So it didn't answer.
It says, if we were in the Matrix, everything around us would be a simulation so perfect that we couldn't tell the difference. But since we have no definitive way to disprove that idea, we're stuck in a weird philosophical limbo. Kind of like, yeah.
Would you care if you were?
Yeah, I would care.
You would?
I think it'd bother me. So then I'd be like, well, what else? What else? Like, if we're in a Matrix and I kind of like could tell that we're in a Matrix, like, well, then what is?
Well, no. Matrix? I mean, if it were somehow discovered that we are plugged into some sort of program, and that we're somehow able to be proven at scale, it is such a perfect simulation that it fooled everybody for so long. Would it bother you?
Yeah.
Would it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that like the need for information would drive me crazy. It would really. I'd be like, well, what is the not plugged in version like?
Right.
What if that's dope?
What if the non plugged in version is exactly like the movie The Matrix, and it's just a dystopian post-war wasteland where you're living in sewers and underground caves?
Is there still sex and boobies?
Well, that's everywhere. So,
well, then I think we'd be all right. Because I think that's all that's driven man to accomplish all that we've accomplished.
Yeah?
You don't think so?
No.
Do you think if it was all dudes, no women, and somehow we could just like make our own babies like some animals, that we'd still have this level of innovation?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't. I really think that like men push to build and innovate and stuff partially for the level of like
provision.
Yeah, like
I'm
going to impress. I'm going to woo this lady by designing a computer.
You might be right.
You know what I mean?
No, you might be right.
Because if we're all dudes, it's like, I ain't got to impress nobody, man. I'm just going to go club this saber-toothed tiger and eat it. Like,
no, I still think that a big part of what has driven society forward as far as, I don't know, progress, architecture, technology, all of that is competition.
Yeah. Yeah. I think competition definitely drives it. But like, would it drive it to the level of needing to be successful to have women? Man, speaking of, this is completely off topic. Before I forget, I saw this thing where a wife asked her husband, hey, what's one thing that you wish you knew when you were young? And he said that I would like my younger self to know that when you are not a boy anymore, when you are a man, you are no longer judged on anything except what you offer, your value that you bring a woman or people, right? When you're a boy, you're just a cute boy and everything's fine and everything. And then he goes on to explain, like, as soon as you hit manhood, it's not, oh, well, he's really nice only. It's, he's really nice, but what else do women?
Yeah, he's really nice, but he doesn't have a job. So
yeah, it's no longer about you. It's about what value you bring. And that sent me down like this rabbit hole of thought of like, you know, when I met when I met my wife, what value did I bring? You know, she must have seen potential, you know, so she saw potential in that, you know, and at first when we were just dating, it was probably just like, yeah, he's a great guy. He plays hockey. I like that. You know, the value I brought was like I was edgy maybe or an athlete.
Whatever, yeah.
You know, but if you look at it, like hypothetically, we both were single right now, right? What would be the qualifying things that would get us new relationships? It would be like, how much money does he make a year? Does he have a job? What does he drive? Like, there are so many things. Like, men have to bring value to
Interesting.
receive love, whereas women and kids don't. A woman can be just hot, and that's enough for a guy.
It's certainly enough for some guys.
Yeah, I mean, we need intelligence and depth and stuff too. But
it would, like, we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah,
if a person is not intelligent, I don't care if it's a woman or not.
Yeah,
there's no stimulating conversation. I'm not interested in participating in the relationship.
I can get down with that.
I'm just not.
I definitely agree with that. Like, I think one of my wife's attractive traits is her work ethic and her intelligence and her like ability to like keep shit together when things are going wrong and handle it.
Now, I don't want to make it sound like I'm some, what's that phrase where you're attracted to intelligence only?
There's a term for it, but I can't remember. Comment below.
It's not autodidact, is it? That's self-learning. That's self-taught. Autodidact, that's self-taught. Regardless, I'm not one of those people. If you're hyper intelligent, but you look like a toenail, you know what I mean?
You look like a fucking toenail.
Like, it is absolutely both. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's interesting for sure.
We need to get an additional person. We need a Jamie. Desperately. It's called sapiosexuality.
What, and it was I correct about autodidact? Is that self-learning?
I don't fucking know. But when you're only attracted to intelligence, that's like your primary like attraction and turn on.
Sapiosexuality?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm saying that right. But yeah, SAPIO sexuality.
Sapiosexuality.
Yeah. And I definitely know how to read sexuality. It's the other part. It's the other part that I don't. But it's being attracted to intelligence as a primary like turn on to a human more than appearance and other traits.
Interesting.
Which, like, I couldn't do that. But I'm also not a overly intellectual human. Like,
yeah.
I can receive dumb information and give dumb information and be totally content with that interaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you don't need to sit around discussing philosophy and
not always.
Yeah.
Not always. I mean, I definitely love having conversations that require me to be like thoughtful and engaged, but literally people could just be like, wind is out real windy today, wind. And I'd be like, yeah, wind is super windy today. Weird. And I'm like, that was nice. Like, I don't need much more. Like, I'm not great at small talk, but like, if that's the conversation that's giving, like, I will just happily accept it and say, you know? So I don't know. I'm definitely more shallow though. I think like if me and Erica ever separated, I would be totally content with just a dumb ass hot chick.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd be fine with it. It's like, dude, here's the thing. I already bring everything I need to my table.
See, I view my relationship different. I mean, I am who I am and I'm content with that. I am trying to always get better.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that part of the intimacy of relationship and marriage is the other person inherently brings a part of you that you are not. Like they kind of complete the equation.
Yin yang.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit. A little bit. I mean,
yeah. Fills the gaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Puzzle piece shit. I get it.
Maybe it's not so sappy like you complete me, but like
you make
you had me at hello
happy.
But no, I think that that's part of intimacy. I am inherently a better dad when my wife is around.
Yeah. Well, I think it also helps too that we both have like really kick-ass wives.
For sure.
Like I think that helps tremendously because like we probably wouldn't be awesome dudes the way we are if we didn't have great women behind us.
But I am definitively better when she is present. That to me is proof that there is something about her her presence, her demeanor,
Yeah.
who she is, what she is,
I agree.
that improves who I am.
Yeah.
And I would hope that is reciprocated from me to her.
She's listening. She's like, I don't even fucking need
nope,
this motherfucker.
I don't need no man.
Yeah. I tell Erica all the time, like, it worries me because I really, like, sometimes I'm watching her just go about her life and I'm just like, she doesn't need me. And she would disagree.
Yeah.
But I look at her and I'm just like, man, like, I was out of town and she wanted a dresser built. She'll build the dresser herself. Oh, she wants these pictures on the wall. I'll come home and they're on the wall.
She's very self-sufficient.
Yeah. She's just like, it's just got to get done. So I just do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, how dare you for not doing it? You know, like,
that's awesome though. I think a level of independence is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's impressive, man. I like, she's such a good mom that I don't even think I needed to be like, obviously, like, there's an importance we've talked about it before, the importance of a man raising a boy. A boy needs a father figure in his life, period. Right. But like, I think that even if I went MIA, my kids would turn out pretty damn good because of her. I
think that there's a pastor I listen to, and he talks about there's a point in kids' lives where when they're young, they need mom, they don't need dad.
Yeah, we're useless to them.
Like, dad should be a net positive, like a value add to the scenario.
And dad's fun and rough houses,
but they need mom.
Mom is number one,
right?
Yeah,
but then there is a point in kids' lives where they need mom less. And they need dad to be dad.
Yeah. What age do you think that is?
I don't know. I think Cooper's probably getting close to it. You know, that close to 10-ish years old.
Yeah. I see it
give
more
or take
now.
a couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, my oldest is 8 and I'm seeing it all the time where I'm just like, oh, this is not a mom moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
This is very, okay. Like, I got this one. Like, I can tell. Like, even yesterday, our kids got stomped. Like, first game of the season last night.
Soccer, baseball,
football. And they just got stomped. And halfway through the game, the kids knew.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they felt it.
We're losing.
My kid came back to the bench and was crying. And I was like, what's wrong? He's just like, I threw 2 horrible passes. I mean, he threw a turnover, and it was a pick 6. I mean, they got a touchdown with it.
Yeah.
Another one, he threw the ball and it literally looked like, just like an ape threw it, just like, oh, like,
so total duck.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he got his eyes on target. I think everything went wrong for him there. And he came back to the bench and he was just like worked up, tears in his eyes, rubbing his face. And I'm just like, hey, dude, if this is going to affect you this much, how are you going to handle the next time you're out there running?
Yeah.
Like, that was immediately like, not that moms can't coach kids through that shit, because they absolutely can. But this is like a dad moment where I'm just like literally, I looked at him, I said, stop it. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
We'll worry about that after the game. We still have another half of this game to go.
That is my consistent theme right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I get the emotion. Mm-hmm. I have them.
Losing sucks.
I get sad. I get mad. Yep. I get frustrated. I get afraid. I get all of those things.
Yeah.
The difference is, son, is you need to learn how to accept that you have the emotion and then not allow that emotion to dictate what your actions are going to be.
Totally.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed. You have to say, all right, deep breath. This sucks. I'm going to just cowboy up, get through it. And then I will work through the emotional stuff when I have
the
opportunity to. But in the middle of the thing is not the right time.
Yeah, So that was it. And then another kid was, I guess he got his flag pulled and another kid bumped into him. And then he shoved the kid. And it was just like, he came to the bench and it's just like, hey, you're playing football. You're going to have contact. Be smart, like play smart. And the coach was also like, play smart. Like, don't get frustrated over them bumping into you. You're supposed to bump into each other in football. Yeah.
And that's a bump. Wait till you strap up.
Well, and that's what I told my kid yesterday too. And because he had a play where he's quarterback, snapped the ball, boom, got it. And it was a blue sweep quarterback or blue run quarterback keep. So he fakes off to blue and then he turns, and then he's supposed to hit the he's supposed to hit the perimeter and just go as hard as he can.
Yeah.
And he got the ball and did this weird like little stutter step. And then
So he didn't have the time ahead.
Yeah, he just kind of got caught and was kind of like, oh, and just wasn't like fully ready for the play. Got caught flat-footed, got caught hesitating, all that. And I told him, I said, hey, we're going to have to work on that because you're going to play tackle football next year. And you know what happens to quarterbacks who just get caught standing out in the open when their linemen let people through.
They get laid out.
And I told him, I was like, I think I said it exactly like this. You're going to get fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
If you do that shit next season.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know. And I'm like, do you though? Because if you really knew that, you wouldn't have done that. You would have been in the right mindset. You would have listened to the play. You would have understood the play. You would have been properly ready for that to perform when it was time to go hike. And it's not like I'm like hard on him. I told him like, hey man, you gave a great effort. You were out there. You played the game. You made it through. Like it sucks, and we have shit to work on. But it's like that learning moment of like,
I mean, look, the best quarterbacks in history have all been caught flat-footed.
Oh no, totally.
You know
but it's
what I mean?
like I'm trying to give him that lesson. Like, hey, I'm connecting some dots here now. So next season, when you're frothing at the mouth, trying to figure out what just happened, you know it's because you messed up. And then the other thing too that I told him during dinner when we got home, like he was pretty bummed out, and it was like 8 p.m. and I was like, "We'll go get Chick-fil-A, dude. Like, I'm not cooking shit at 8 p.m. Let's go." Got Chick-fil-A, went home, we're eating, and dude. It's just it's. We're sitting around the table, and it's just like you have to learn how to turn game mode on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to.
It's a flow state that you've got to kind of learn how to put yourself into.
You got to just turn it on. Like you can't teach that. That's something they have to find.
Yeah, and I think that that getting into that game mode is important. Like, I mean, we're doing soccer right now. Frankly, my entire goal. I don't even care if they win. I don't. I want him to play well. Yeah. Meaning take whatever, if you have a victory, you score a goal.
Great.
Be humble. If you get worked over, deal with the emotions in the appropriate way, but keep your head in the game.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal. Even if you staying engaged and you still get worked over. All right. We'll work through that. You're 7. Like you winning, green team soccer is not important.
Yeah.
Like the lessons beyond what drives to the end of the game. That's what I'm really concerned about right now.
And what's hard to it at their age, they're just like, this game is the only thing that matters in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like, so for them, it's like, the world is ending.
Yeah.
And we're like, nah, dude, we have like 5 more games this season. Like, we'll be okay. Everything's fine. Oh, it came back to me. I kind of like worked on the fly through that one. But as at dinner, I always tell him, look, how do you feel? And he's like, not good. And it's like, okay, why? And he's like, because we lost. And I said, no, because yes, you lost. You guys didn't earn it. Like you guys didn't earn a victory. You didn't deserve to win.
Yep.
Period. You guys all weren't hitting plays right. No one was catching interceptions. No one was running the ball right. We had a few kids that are they're on. Like we have a few kids that just can go. And it's like, you give them the ball and they're just like, okay. And they just go.
Yeah.
And they don't put much thought into it. Those are the kids that are just like, they don't think about it. They just
kind of naturally talented.
Well, it's not even naturally talented. It's just like, here's the ball. When you get this ball, listen, I need you to run hard. And they're just like, okay,
got it.
And that's it. They just go, boom, and they take off. Hard. Yeah. But having that conversation of like, you can't, because like you always hear the kids like, oh, well, the refs made us, there was that false start and the refs called it and did it. No, the refs are doing their jobs.
Yeah.
Did you false start?
Yeah.
You guys didn't do your jobs.
Right.
You guys didn't earn a victory. You guys got what you deserved in the effort you guys put out. And that's a hard lesson.
It's hard too, because you're teaching young boys that their team's loss is their loss.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
And that's why I try to make it also say like, you guys didn't earn it. It's not just like, Maverick, you're the quarterback, you ruined this game, because that's not what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you have to own your personal mistakes for sure,
and that's part of it.
But you also have to own your teammates' mistakes.
Yeah,
and you also have to celebrate and him as a leader of the team. He's got to celebrate their victories as the team's victories. You know what I mean? It's a weird dynamic.
It is. Yeah, when he had a handoff to one of the kids he's new on our team, but he's played before, and the kid he he knew the play. He ran in the right direction. But when Maverick handed off the ball, he was just kind of like, oh, shit, what? The ball.
Yeah.
And he dropped it twice and the play went dead. And Maverick in the car is just like, well, he wasn't getting you. And I'm like, no, dude. Like, talk to him then.
Yeah.
Communicate with him. When you say down, sit, give him the eye.
Yeah.
Like, be ready. And so it's like it goes both ways on everything. It's so fucking crazy raising a kid. And I don't even like football.
Yeah.
Like, really at all. I like BSU because it's our local team.
Yeah, it's our only local.
That and Steelheads. Like,
yeah. Oh, we got the baseball team, but they're like
who's that even?
Fourth.
Yeah.
I think they're a part of the Colorado Rockies program, but they're like the third or fourth tier down.
Yeah. It's not even one under.
It's Are they Steel? That's not the Steelheads. That's Steelheads, the hockey team, right?
Steelheads is the hockey team, and they are 2 levels down as well because it goes ECHL, AHL, and then NHL.
Yeah.
So they're down here.
But they're a pretty big deal around here.
It's because there's no other good hockey. The closest other hockey we have are the Kraken or Utah. And I don't even know if Utah has a name yet.
I don't even know either of those things.
Yeah.
The baseball stadium is fun to go to, but it's a little old, outdated,
It's run down.
It could have some facelifts for sure.
Yeah. There's just no money to do it.
Yeah.
Like the club doesn't have money for a big new stadium and people don't go enough to get, you know what I mean?
We used to go to the River Cats in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
It's a Giants.
Yeah.
It's their step down. So is that single A, double A, triple A? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know how it works. Whatever. I think they are the gateway to the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
So a bunch of the big leaguers will come down if they're like rehabbing, and then those guys will step up and they'll go play a couple big league games and then come back down. There's a lot of flow state there. But that's a lot of fun because that stadium is awesome. It's super clean. It's got all the things. It's beautiful. It's right on the river in Sacramento.
Sick.
It's got good parking. Like it's so much fun.
Whereas you go to like San Jose Giants games.
Yeah.
And it's like, run down, beat up, dingy. Seats have splitters in them.
Yeah.
Like, don't grind your knees on these seats when you're running around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a trip, man. Having kids is difficult. It's super fucking weird.
It is a strange.
And I don't have it all figured out.
Oh, not even kind of remotely.
No. And then there's always the
daily failures.
Oh, the fucking even my failure today to get Declan in the car to go to daycare.
Yeah.
I was just like, listen, I'll get you a treat later if you get in. I'm like, get in this car, please. And he's like, no. And I'm like, get in the
How old is he?
car. He's about to turn 4.
Oh, okay.
So he's still a little guy.
Yeah.
So I still give him some grace because it's like,
he's kind of a baby.
He's 3. Yeah. I mean, he don't know better. But like, there's definite things where it's like, no, you know better. Like, when he tells me no and I stand up, he like instantly goes, like, oh shit. So he knows better.
Oh yeah, they get it.
He just don't give a shit.
But the language isn't there.
Yeah, he just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
At all. So it's a trip, man. Yeah.
So how many years between Maverick and Declan?
5 years.
Oh, okay. There's a pretty good gap.
Yeah, 5 years. I don't think they'll ever attend the same school together.
Got it. That's the same. So my sister and I were that way.
Yeah. So when Maverick's out, he'll be in everything.
Yeah.
And so there's like a weird, I definitely wish we didn't wait so long.
Yeah, we got about 2 years, just a little more than 2 years between our kids.
Yeah. And I think that's perfect.
So like next year, my little guy's going into kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
My older kid's going into second grade. And he's the oldest in second grade. Like he really probably should be second grade this year.
Yeah. So he started on the late end.
Yeah. I mean, he literally, his birthday was like
right at the cutoff.
A day or two.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand all that. Like Maverick's on the young side of his class. So everyone in his class is 9 and there's like him and one other 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, he used to be the biggest kid. And now he's like, Dad, everyone's bigger than me. And I'm like,
I'm not sure what's better. One of the things we've been dealing with, because what I have noticed is that at these ages, 1 year, 9 months of development
huge difference.
So there is, if he's got a kid who is almost a full year younger than him, that's a big gap.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? In maturity, relative understanding, maybe not relative intelligence because the capacity for intelligence may still be there, but their understanding of things is just going to be different.
Yep.
And so that's been something that we've struggled with. Now that is going to shrink quite a bit once he gets into the later grades.
Oh yeah, like once you're in like end of middle school and high school, it's all so.
And athletically, it's a benefit, right? He's going to be the oldest.
Yep.
Playing down.
Yeah. So statistically, the oldest in the grade is more likely to go pro.
Yeah.
So like if you're supposed to be 8 or 9 in third grade, like being 9 is more beneficial because by the time you those are the kids that turn 18, like beginning of senior year,
yeah.
You know, so they're the ones that
they've got more successful post high school careers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but you know, it is what it is. I never understood that. And school's a fucking sham. They just need to play the game.
I don't know that it's a sham, but I do think that there is a lot of reliance on school. But here's the other thing too, for working parents.
It's a necessity.
I mean, the days where having 2 working parents was rare are gone.
God.
Most households have 2 working parents.
And the world has not adapted around it yet.
No. Now, if I'm being honest, if I had it my way, I would much prefer to be that stay-at-home mom model.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 working parent, 1 full-time parent.
Yep.
Whatever. But that's just not the way it is. Like, and I'm content with it. I really am. Like, I've made my peace with that's just not the life we chose. We kind of had that discussion early on.
Well, it's also not the world we live in.
Well, and Jordan was just like, I want to work. I'm like, all right, then you work. Like, I'm not going to tell you no.
Yeah.
It's your life. It's your career. You do what you want.
Yeah.
And there's have certainly been times where she's been like, man, I never thought I would see value in being a stay-at-home mom. Now, not to say she appreciates what those moms do now, but she's still like, no, I like working. Yeah.
I think that she shares similar thoughts to Erica.
Yeah.
I think Erica is very... Well, it's funny because I think she liked working. She's always known working and all that.
She's in medical, right?
No. She's in project management for tech.
Oh.
But like, I think now she's just more so than ever like, I don't want to work.
I think if I were independently wealthy and had, millions of dollars, whatever that dollar amount were,
right,
to be financially independent of day work income, I think Jordan would likely, quit the obligation to certain hours and then spend her time how she sees fit.
Yeah, 100%.
But
yeah, I agree. It actually does bother me sometimes that like, as a bit, and we'll talk more about this on another podcast, I'm sure, but as a business owner, you look at your business plan, you plan for 5 years. Like you make your 5-year plan. You don't just go like 1 day at a time, because like that's not really a feasible way to live. You look at your 5-year plan, and this is where you're supposed to be in 5 years. This is where you start. This is where you should, like, there are tangible elements and measurements of this is where we need to be. And like the first year mark for SimShot was like just a catastrophe. We didn't even come close to the numbers that we were anticipating to hit. And then year 2 hit and it was like way better, but like still just shy. Year 3 hits. Here we are, right? It's like now we're on track. Everything's on pace. Everything's good. And it just, the long game is so excruciating. And in my head, I'm like, all right.
It's excruciating in the early years.
It's excruciating always, man. It's going to be hard no matter what I do. But
that's true. But like, the early years are particularly
difficult. My God. Yeah. The amount of money like we've put into this business and the amount of things we have to think about constantly for SimShot specifically, and how much priority this place has to take all the time. Like I miss weekends with my kids regularly. They see me from like 3 p.m. on weekends. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you've got a class or you've got a shoot or you've got a whatever.
Yeah. I'm just gone a lot, so, and the kids know, and they're good about it and stuff, but I always make sure like I'm at the games, I'm at the practices. I don't miss those things because I have that flexibility, but like, we don't have the capacity to miss days, but it's like, man, I thought in like year 3, Erica could just quit and just like be sufficient off this. And it's like, no, let's wait till year 5. Let's go a couple more years. Let's keep going up. Let's build it up more. and then we'll reassess.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, it's interesting too, because you think there's like a number where, okay, cool, we can abandon that supplemental income. But that's when that supplemental income is a lot of money. You're like, you start to value that number more.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want to give up that, 60K, 120K, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's a lot to just say, okay, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. And that's also another thing. Like Erica makes great money.
Yeah.
She has a great fucking job.
Yeah.
SimShot would not even be remotely possible
If it
weren't for her having such a great job and working so fucking hard. But with that being said, even though SimShot's successful, like it's still going to hurt to lose that income.
Oh, yeah.
And the healthcare.
Yeah.
Because I don't plan on offering any healthcare here ever.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like I will keep people under full time.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want health. It's not my gig.
Yeah.
And obviously if we needed, like we hired like a full-time guy for this, like, of course I'll offer healthcare and make sure that they're taken care of. We're going to try really hard not to do that though.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants a job at SimShot, let me know.
If you are already retired and
Yeah.
highly qualified and want to work part-time.
Yeah. Well, if you look at like the demographic of like instructors and stuff too, it's, retired cops. And so there's a lot of that stuff. Yeah. But we'll take care of our guys if something's wrong. But yeah, it's for me and Nick's VA and I'm on Erica's healthcare.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a time where Erica was on my healthcare for a long time.
Sure.
But now that's not the case.
Yeah. So
it's a trip, man. It's a trip.
It's crazy, man.
Life's a motherfucker.
It is it's a weird experiment, that's for sure.
The Matrix.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we were in the Matrix, shouldn't this shit all be figured out?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? If this is the Matrix and we're having this much political fucking divide in like the world, like what the fuck?
I think there's a part of the human brain that requires
Drama. Yeah. I mean, therapists exist for a reason. You know, some people like being trauma dumpsters and just taking in people's shit.
Yeah.
Have you read that yet or looked at it?
I looked through it. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about Rules for a Night.
Yeah. Such a good book. It like hijacked an episode.
Yeah, it did. But
Such a
people
good book.
loved it. I want to read it. I want to do another episode where we talk through some of this because
Rob left his on my desk.
Did he?
Yeah.
We can bring it over there. No, I think it's cool. I was looking up because I think some of these or so many of these, and this is my own folly.
Mm-hmm.
I look at these values and I'm like, these are fantastic values for a man, for a person, for a father, for a son. And I'm like, these are conservative values.
Yeah.
But they're not political.
They're not political at all.
At all. They're just quality values for the type of person that we all should be, regardless of how we interpret policy.
I agree. But here's the thing. Do you think some of those virtues would be read by someone who is extremely left-leaning and Democrat?
Different.
Would they interpret that and be like, that's so like fascist or that's,
I thought after reading this, I assumed wrongly that Ethan Hawke was conservative.
Oh, is he not?
And then I looked up yesterday. I just did a quick Google on what is Ethan Hawke's politics. And he was a camel man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck. Loser.
So I mean, this doesn't have like a highlight. I mean, but yes, I do think that different people are going to interpret some of these things differently.
Yeah. I agree with that. For sure. Did you I talked to you about it beforehand. So so Florida has a House bill right now that is basically giving immunity to pesticide companies like Monsanto and all those guys.
Yeah, that's horseshit.
If there's injuries or harm caused by it.
Yeah.
And I read the whole thing. Some of the phrasing states that like, even if not clearly marked as hazardous on the label. So they could say essentially like, yeah, we released this product. We didn't clearly say that it's going to cause cancer or anything, but like, yeah, it's gonna, that you cannot sue them for any kind of injuries or harm or any wrongdoing or anything at all. And I guess like Monsanto and a lot of these big companies are going state by state and trying to get this going. And
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They prioritize profit over people.
yeah, 100%. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like their products kill bugs for sure.
And everything else.
And everything else, including the end user's body.
Yeah.
But when we look at Florida, generally speaking, I feel like people, especially the people who are like Daddy DeSantis, you know, like think DeSantis is this like perfect, great politician.
Nope.
Which, of course, we are smarter than that. We know better, right? I'm not saying that people who, I mean, well, Florida people, if you're listening from Florida, we still love you. It's okay. But do you think that this shows some level of I just want money over I really care about the Florida people in DeSantis if this passes?
Yeah. I would be surprised if he signed it into, based off of what I've seen. Let's see. I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Yeah, it's
what is it? Do you know what it is? HB what?
Oh shit! Hold on here.
Florida bill.
It
pesticide.
is HB 129, bill to be entitled an act relating to products liability actions under the Florida pesticide law. So yeah, it's interesting. And I read that and I'm like, how the fuck is that possible? Really? Like, that's my thing. How is it possible that a company can ask for some form of immunity from the government, from civil suits, from criminal anything? Essentially like, hey, we have this product that is positively dangerous and horrible for you. And in fact, you shouldn't even touch it with your bare skin. But we want immunity for if someone does. And the way that it's phrased is like, we want to be, the only exception will be if like the end user doesn't use it as specified, you know? So like if a farm or someone who produces a huge crop uses it in excessive amounts or not as recommended, then I guess you might be able to bypass this and sue them directly, but not the actual manufacturer, even though they're putting a chemical on our food that causes straight up cancer and death. Like, it is poison. There's no doubt about it. And the fact that it's like allowed to be sold, manufactured, and consumed in the country, I think is an inherent huge fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Let's see. Past.
So, yeah, it drives me nuts.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's evil.
So it was filed on January 9th. On 115, referred to Civil Justice and Claims Subcommittee, referred Housing, Agriculture, Tourism Subcommittee, Judicial Committee, and Civil Justice Committee. On 3-4 was the House first reading of the original filed version.
Yeah.
On 4-1, it was added to Civil Justice.
We're looking at the same thing, thefastdemocracy.com.
Mm-hmm. And then
first reading was with a substitute was on the 3rd.
Like, how is that even making
so it has not passed the House.
It hasn't passed the House yet, but it's getting, I mean, there are great bills that get shot down and don't even get read. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so we learned that with, well, at least in the Idaho legislature, we learned that with Brian Lenny, that basically the chairperson has the ability to just be like, no, we're not going to read that.
Yeah. How? Like, Tammy Nichols has I think that she's definitely done a lot of stuff recently that is a tremendous waste of government time and thought. Like the cursive bill, like fuck all that stuff.
I don't know about a lot of stuff. That's the only one I've heard of.
Yeah, well, that's like the big one that really bothered me.
Yeah.
So you heard about it because I bitch about it.
Right.
But then like she had one where it was basically saying HOAs can no longer tell anyone that they can't have small livestock and like small community farms or farming.
Yeah, awesome. That's worthwhile.
And that's a phenomenal.
Yeah, you're taking power away from these ridiculous organizations.
Yeah. Well, it's like
that basically exist to handle lawn care bills.
Yeah. Well, and like my HOA says you can't have cows, chickens, goats, geese, and like you cannot have anything. You can't like farm rabbits, nothing. Like you cannot have any agricultural animals in your yard at all. And you cannot have your own essentially little mini farm in your backyard where you can't grow your own stuff. Like you're not allowed to do that.
You have a garden?
Well, you can have like a garden, but like there's like a certain limit to like how much you can dedicate to it in the backyard. And it makes no sense. Why wouldn't I be able to have 2 chickens? Like,
There's no reason.
and then you have the idiots.
I have my own reasons. Chickens are gross and they make a mess.
Totally. Well, I mean, it's up to you to make sure it's.
But
not
it's up to
super bad.
you.
Yeah, I mean, your coop can be nice.
That's my own, but that's my reason.
Yeah, like
it's
if you
not your
at,
reason,
right? If you look at Rob's coop, it's relatively clean all the time.
Well, that's what I told Jordan. I'm like, if we get chickens, they're not going to walk around our backyard. They're going to stay in the coop.
Yeah, and you could let them out if you want, but
I don't want to.
You don't have to. They're chickens.
Yeah,
they're not like these. It's. I mean, of course, it's a bird. It has feelings. It has whatever. That's fine.
It doesn't have feelings. It has. There's something I want to eat. Like
I mean, essentially, yeah, I agree. But also, it's like I just want your eggs. Give me eggs, and I will give you food.
Yeah,
this is
there's a trade off.
You are safe. You are warm. You are taken care of. You have everything you need. I want eggs. Give me eggs. Here's a fair trade. But like the fact that the HOA has the ability to tell me, Jeromy, you cannot have chickens in your backyard, to me is criminal.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Well, I refuse to ask my HOA for permission for anything.
I don't. I never do.
I will not.
No, I never will. I never do. Never have.
I will not.
Like, I'll do major yard work and stuff. Like, we re-landscaped our whole backyard without a single
Our HOA
question.
provides zero value, with the singular exception of the money we pay into the HOA covers the lawn care for the common spaces. We don't have a pool. Our park is a joke.
Our park's a joke too. We have 2 of them.
And that we have one, and it's like literally it's like 12 by 12.
It's like a slide and a ladder.
It's a toddler park.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So our kids don't play on it.
Right.
And we have a lot of lawn that is
It's just there for aesthetics.
and that's it.
That
is the singular value. So I'm sorry, but because you pay for a lawn bill, not even you pay, because you collect money, pay for a lawn bill, and then you deal with our irrigation district contract, that does not give you the right to tell me what I can and can't do with my land. And I refuse to acknowledge you as an authority, and I refuse to ask you for permission.
I agree.
I won't. I just won't.
And you know what's weird? So much of Idaho is HOA in this area.
Yeah.
Like, not, you know, of course, like everyone's like, oh, no, not up in here. Well, most of Idaho is fucking nothing.
Pretty much everything that is newly developed after, I don't know, remember what year, but it's all HOA.
Yeah, all HOA. And the HOA, the way Brad Little has his HOA bill set up is that, well, actually, this might change. I think there's something that's going through now that might require them to release the HOA to the people sooner. But a lot of these builders are holding on to the HOA until the final house is sold.
Yeah.
Which means years.
Yeah.
Right? Like right now, my whole community is being held hostage by Boise Hunter Homes and the company that they have chosen to do that. And
I don't have a bunch of like-minded people in my community. My original intent was to run for the HOA, become the president, and then abolish it. But
really, so everyone told me to do the same thing. But then,
but if you have a bunch of like-minded individuals, you can get it done. That's not a big deal. You can kick out whatever organization owns it, and then now everybody's going to be whatever.
Once we're allowed to pass the power into the people, we cannot do that now.
Yeah.
Boise Hunter Homes exclusively gets to choose when we get the HOA based on when they're ready to relinquish it. And their reasoning is that if they relinquish the HOA now, we as the people could change some things that would alter their ability to build and sell the rest of the houses.
Yeah. The one nice thing, I don't even know that I would consider this a redeeming quality, and it's certainly not enough of a reason for me to keep an HOA around. But the one nice thing that it does do is it keeps people from painting their houses like neon crazy ass colors.
That, and just like, cars aren't parked on the grass. And like, if your house is like Blythe, like if your house looks like shit, fix it, dude. Like, you are not allowed to lower the value of my house because you're lazy.
Well, yes, but here's the other side of it is I also don't think that even though you may have some commonly agreed upon standards, I'm not going to take your house away because you are a lazy homeowner.
Yeah. I mean, no, I agree with that.
It's your property. It's your land. Like, I may not like it. I may try to make your life inconvenient, but at the end of the day,
I don't think it should be the HOA's job.
No.
That is a benefit of the HOA, though, is that, yes, my common areas all look nice. Our pools generally are okay. And, I mean, like, if you can't just leave your trash cans in the street for a month.
Yeah.
You know, little shit like that, like, cool, whatever. But, like, I would also, if my neighbors left their trash cans out for a week, I would also just walk over and pull their trash cans up.
Exactly.
Or if someone's front yard was looking really bad, I'd say, hey, neighbor, like, your yard's looking a little rough. Do you need help with anything?
Right.
Oh, no, I just don't care about it. I'm like, okay, well, everyone else in the neighborhood does. So can we help you with it? Can I come over and water it for you? Can I turn on your irrigation system for you? Like, it doesn't have to be the HOA needs to send you a fine. Fuck you.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. It turned in straight. Went from Florida to Idaho HOAs being terrible.
Legislation is dumb.
Legislation's dumb.
Yeah.
And Idaho HOAs are dumb. And the HOA companies, bro. Like I called so when the HOA, we complained enough to get them to switch companies.
Mm-hmm.
And the new company sent us a bill and our regular HOA bill, which is fine. And in that bill, there was like a charge, and it was like a carryover charge.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not paying this.
Well, I literally called and was like, what the fuck is this? And like, I like sent an email saying like, hey, like we keep getting like late fees on this, but I'm not paying it because this is like, you're asking for payment. We don't have any records of what that is.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you had a remaining balance due to the last HOA, and we're just carrying that bill over. And I'm like, what was it? Show me the documentation of what it was. And like, I even called and was like, can I talk to the lady who's in charge of the HOA? And she's like, what is this in regards to? And I was like, oh, well, it's a fee sitting on my account that I don't understand. And you guys are charging late fees on it, and I don't know what it is.
And I'm not
gonna pay it. And she's like, oh, okay, well, you don't have to talk to her. I'll take care of you right here. And I was like, no, I'd like to talk to her. And she's like, oh, well, I'll take care of it. Yeah, you don't get to talk to her for that. And I'm like, the fuck? Psycho bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not
it's
a fan
a
of
mess.
him. Not a fan of him at all.
No, man, it's all sham. It's a
Yeah.
fucking sham. Jeez Louise.
Anyways,
I'm all mad as fuck now. I'm like,
all
dude, I'm
worked
ready
up.
to go fist fight someone, dude.
nah, I don't want to fight.
I want to fight. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go fight.
Well, you want to wrap?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We don't got much else, and Rob's not here to fuel the fire.
Yeah, man.
So-
No quarter pot on all the things. Give us a follow. We're trying to get to that 1,000 sub mark. So
Please
help us out.
do it.
Share us, like us, follow us, comment. We love you guys.
Out.